Good morning. I'm Anna Marie de la Vega. Thank you for joining us today. We're going to look at living your best life. 50 Forward. We've got Sallie Hussey, the Chief Executive Officer for 50 Forward here in Middle Tennessee. And welcome, first of all. So glad you're here.
Thank you so much, Anna Marie. It really is my pleasure to be here with you today.
So tell us, first of all, what is 50 Forward and how can it help us live our best life?
Sure. 50 Forward is a local nonprofit, and we've been around for almost 70 years.
Good.
And our mission is pretty simple. It's to support, enhance, and champion the lives of adults over the age of 50. We do that in a couple of different ways, but the mission has been the same for that 70 years. We've just changed and tweaked a little bit about how we deliver that over the course of time.
Why do people 50 and over need support and help?
Well, it depends on what they're doing and how they're living. I think I would say that most adults over the age of 50 want to choose how they live their lives, just like all individuals. And as you are living and hopefully living your best life after 50, if you're fortunate, then you and still living a very healthy, active life. Mm-hmm. And part of what 50 Forward does is throughout a couple of different counties, we're actually in 3 different counties now in Middle Tennessee, we operate 7, we call them lifelong learning centers. And for many older adults over the age of 50, if you are healthy and active and want to remain that way, you can come to our lifelong learning centers and maybe take a class, whether that's art or music or maybe a yoga class. We can have some improv classes and still remain active and healthy out in your community and be an active participant in community, even in your later years in life.
Is it partly because as we get older, some of our supports fall away, family members move away, kids grow up and move away, our health might start becoming an issue, and it cuts our ability to travel. It cuts our abilities to do the things that we wanted to.
That's a really great question. You know, you've probably heard the statistic about isolation. And over the last couple of years, I think even the Surgeon General has talked about the fact that isolation is just as detrimental to health as smoking is. Yeah. And so as older adults continue to age, you know this, you find that maybe your children or grandchildren, they have lives of their own, but remaining in community and an active part of community is vital to health. And so our lifelong learning centers help older adults remain active in their community. You can find your members of your community and folks your own age who like to do the same things you like to do, whether that is being a part of a book club or taking a trip down to the art museum, eating out a couple of times a week. It's just a wonderful place to be with like-minded people and to enjoy staying active and participating in life.
Because it affects your health and your mental health.
Yes.
Being isolated, we're kind of back on health issues that can develop later in life, and finding ways to keep that at bay. And you keep mentioning active, so we can remain active and enjoy our lives. Are there other health components that 50 Forward helps us face?
Sure. You know, unfortunately, there are many older adults who, as they age, don't have support systems, and unfortunately might have additional health issues as they age and need some support systems. And 50 Forward has another set of services that we offer if there are adults who, again, as they age, need some of that support. Yeah. You really are fortunate if you have the ability to age in the way you choose. But if you lack some help and some support, then 50 Forward has a whole range of services through our supportive care arm that we can provide help and support to older adults and their family members, too.
What is that about? Sure. Like you have, I think earlier you were saying something like 3 different kind of buckets or branches or something?
Sure. So that middle bucket of services that we offer, again, the general term is supportive care services. And one that probably most folks are familiar with is our 50 Forward Fresh program. It is a traditional Meals on Wheels program. I think most folks understand how important nutrition is for everybody. And for older adults, it's even probably more important. We realize that as we age, if you are food insecure, especially as an older adult, that is probably just an indicator of maybe other health issues that you might be dealing with. And so 50 Forward's Meals on Wheels program last year delivered upwards of 27,000 meals across Middle Tennessee. It
Wow.
really is pretty phenomenal. And it's not just 50 Forward. It is in partnership with Second Harvest of Middle Tennessee and with the Nashville Food Project, but also the individuals who deliver those meals are retired senior volunteers. So it's pretty wonderful. Yes, they get to remain active and deliver the meals, but then we're also delivering meals mostly to homebound older adults who need not just a meal, but also need someone to check in on them.
Yeah.
If they are food insecure, and most of them are below a certain level of income, and maybe they're scrimping on food, then there's probably also some other determinants of health and other indicators that show they might need some additional support.
Yeah.
And by having someone check in on them, then we can also say, hey, maybe we need to help you access some additional services. And we can do that through our meals program.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like you got eyes and ears
We
on
do.
the ground.
Yes. It's really pretty great.
Oh, I
Yes.
love that.
Yeah.
In case you're just joining us, this is Focus. And I'm Anna Marie. Sallie Hussey, the Chief Executive Officer of 50Forward, is our guest today. So 50Forward helps with that. What else?
So we also have some other wonderful programs through our supportive care program. One of the ones I'm really proud of is 50 Forward Friends. It is our adult day service program. So we just celebrated the 1-year anniversary of our second arm of adult day service. We have a program here in Davidson County and one we just, again, opened a year ago in Williamson County. But it is a day program for older adults who might not be able to stay in their homes every day without maybe a little bit of supervision.
Right.
So maybe an older adult who has some cognitive decline during the day.
Yeah.
And so their loved one can bring them to 50 Forward to spend the day.
Wow.
And it is a program that is licensed. And during the day, they have active, engaging tasks, and they are supervised by a wonderful team who helps them with art projects. And we have snacks, and we have engaging activities that keep their brains engaged throughout the day. And then their loved one would pick them up and bring them home at night.
Yeah.
But if they need supervision, and we understand how hard it is for family members to care for someone with maybe early stage dementia or Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
These programs are far and few between
Yeah.
all over Middle Tennessee. And as the population ages, there will be more need for them. So we're excited that we opened our second arm of that in Williamson County.
So you were talking about as more people get older, it's increasing our population of older adults, right?
Yes, it is. The Census Bureau released some statistics at the last census that indicated Tennessee's population is one of the most aging populations. And if those statistics hold true, just in a few short years, in 2030, almost 1/4 of this state will be over the age of 60. And 50 Forward is one of the only agencies in Middle Tennessee that provides comprehensive care, boots on the ground, providing services to both the active older adults and those needing support. And while we're working really hard to do more, there's still a lot more to do if our population continues to age. And there are wonderful other agencies and organizations supporting older adults, but I'm just not quite sure that as a state we are ready to face the influx of older adults in this population. Yeah, we've got some more work to do.
Is it because better medicine? We're starting to take better care of ourselves. I want to hear some positivity in that.
Yeah, there is lots of positivity. Yes, I think it's all of that. I'm not the expert on that. There are lots of reasons probably why we're continuing to age, but there are other things we need to do to be ready for that. We've got transportation in our community is a big barrier for older adults. The community is not ready to support, I think, older adults. And, access to health care there's still some challenges that older adults face. And those are not unique to older adults. I think all of us face those depending on, where you live. And I think there are many folks who are working around some issues just to make the community more livable for older adults. And I do think there is a lot of hope. We are getting ready to welcome so many more in that 60-plus population. But and it's exciting. You're very fortunate if you can have another birthday and continue to see more and more years on you. We're just not quite ready for all of that, I don't think, as a state or even as a nation.
I know, as the CEO, the Chief Executive Officer of FiftyForward here in Middle Tennessee, you've looked at this entire situation from that perspective for a long time now.
Sure.
So this is just asking your opinion. This is kind of tangential. Your opinion. What would we need to do as a community to get better prepared for a growing population of older Americans?
So I do think we need to provide better access for transportation for older adults. It is really hard for older adults to get around in this city. I do think there are some financial challenges for older adults to achieve many of their goals post-retirement. I don't have the statistic right in front of me, but most older adults in this community even in Middle Tennessee, have very little in a retirement savings unless they are in that upper echelon of income.
Yeah.
And so once you retire, and we've seen so many more being forced to work because they are either caring for a spouse who has some health challenges.
Yeah.
So health care and transportation and access to all of that is rolled up into one.
Yeah.
And income is really key. If your health care is eating up all of your savings and medicine, the cost of prescription medicines is eating all of that, you are forced to work. And this community, older adults have, especially in Middle Tennessee and Nashville, these are the individuals who have participated in the economic development of this community and have made it what it is. And now in their retirement years, they are not able to access the benefits of this beautiful community.
Wow.
So providing them not an entitlement, but some sort of comfort, whether that is an additional access to transportation or lower cost of medicine, there has to be some relief for them because you should not have to continue to work in your 90s or be forced to choose. Yeah. Do I pay for my medicine or do I pay for my rent or there is no affordable housing? All of that is wrapped up into one. So I don't know that I have all the answers, but I can clearly see what the challenges are for older adults who are forced to pick and choose as they age.
Yeah. I've seen medical expenses and costs of prescriptions.
Yes.
One prescription in particular that my husband takes, and it's like $10,000 a year. $10,000 a year. There's no way.
There's no way if you are in retirement, and many older adults live alone.
Yes.
And then you can't afford that when you are living on Social Security.
Yeah.
It is virtually impossible.
Yeah. I like the thought. And what about even walkable neighborhoods?
There's a wonderful program that many communities, I'm not sure if it's Cleveland and a couple of others, and the West End Home Foundation and AARP Tennessee and a couple of others here in Nashville are working on this Livable Communities initiative. And we are not quite there, but we are working and trying to get neighborhoods and Nashville has done some real work to get us there. We're not quite there yet, but to make them livable for all ages. But older adults are part of that because it is really a challenge in some neighborhoods, and not just sidewalks, but when you think about sidewalks with curbs, that wheelchairs and canes, and for anybody to access, and even parks and benches that allow older adults to sit in, and easy access to get up and move from. There's a whole walkable, livable community initiative, and that's what I mean, that are welcoming for older adults, not just playgrounds for toddlers.
Yes.
Playgrounds for and walkable, livable communities for all ages.
That gives me hope and encouragement to know that there's an initiative in the works.
Yes.
That it has been recognized as a challenge, and we're working to deal with it. And you call it the Livable Communities Initiative.
Yes.
Thank you, because I will be looking that up and finding more about it. Sallie Hussey, the Chief Executive Officer of 50Forward here in Middle Tennessee. What other services? I know there were some other things that we wanted to make sure and tell people that are available through 50Forward that they might not realize.
Sure. We've got a wonderful group of social workers, our care team, who is available if you have an older adult family member and you're just not sure what services are available, or as your older adult family member is aging, reach out to 50Forward. We can help and provide some assessment tools, or come and provide an assessment and help you and give you some information. It can be hard. It can be hard to have initial conversations with family members. And we can help provide some of that information to you and your families.
Yes, you're right. People don't know where to start.
Yeah, sure.
Hey, let's talk about having a cognitive test, or let's talk about
we can.
Where you'll go in the daytime, things like that. Oh, gosh.
We can do that.
What about, is that part of the living at home care management?
Sure, all of that is wrapped up, yes, in our care team and with our living at home programs. We've got a couple of different departments in the care team, depending on where you need to go. But the first step would be to get in touch with the care team, and they can lead you from there.
And just so you know that there are options.
Yes, absolutely.
It's not you get in touch and now you have one choice.
Sure.
Conservatorship.
Sure. Yes. There are older adults who might not have family members, and as they age, can sometimes be involved in some pretty unfortunate situations. And we do have a program that if individuals find themselves in those situations, the court can appoint 50Forward to be a conservator if they are in the end-of-life situation, and we can take over and help provide some financial help toward the end of their life, and make sure they get the care they need as they are in that end-of-life stage. Yes.
What kind of unfortunate situations? I mean, I hate to ask, but like where they don't have someone to take care of them, or they...
Yes, there are situations where maybe family members can be abusive to an older adult. Right. Elder abuse, we all have heard that term before. So we have programs that make sure that family members stay out of those situations, and we can come in, and then the court can appoint us to be a conservator and make sure that an older adult is in the proper place, and we can make that payment to that third-party provider. Those situations, unfortunately, happen from time to time, and our court system knows that in Davidson County, and can appoint 50Forward as the conservator for the older adult.
And a lot of times when someone is an older adult, a lot of their friends have passed. A lot of their peers in the family have passed. So they are reliant on people younger than they are to help take care of them or to make the decisions. And if those people don't have the older person's best interest at heart, it can get pretty horrible.
We've seen it. And our care team is pretty adept at catching that. Yes.
Yeah.
And again, it goes back to how we started this, Anna Marie. If older adults are active and engaged and in community, and they have a network and a peer group, they can help support too. That's what we're trying to make sure older adults stay active and engaged as they age too, and remain in community so someone can help recognize some of those signs too, even if it's not your own family.
Oh,
Yes.
so if I'm at one of the
Lifelong learning centers.
lifelong
Sure.
learning
Yeah.
centers, and I've got some stuff going on at home, that is an opportunity for someone who is at the center or my
Possibly,
peers
sure.
or friends
Or a staff
there,
member.
staff
Sure.
members
Yes.
to know.
To recognize.
Oh my goodness, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
A lot of situations people get themselves into as they get older is because they weren't warned about it.
Oh.
We weren't taught this in school. We weren't taught, well, you need to get power of attorney. You need to get this in line. You need to get this together because one day you're going to need that. We're not taught that. And so 50 Forward is doing something to connect the younger and the older generations.
Yes, we are. Yeah, no, you're exactly right. Nobody teaches you how to age or any of that in school. And we are doing something with the younger generation because it really is important, this intergenerational programming. And thank you so much for asking. In our Bordeaux, 50 Forward Bordeaux Lifelong Learning Center, we started a while back experimenting with some intergenerational programming with a wonderful nonprofit, Creative Girls Rock. They are a fantastic organization that provides creative arts programming for women and girls to help improve their mental health.
Wow.
And this wonderful creative arts programming with the young girls and women and our older adults. They've done programs such as mural painting and art coloring for mental health and color dialysis. It was fantastic to see the young girls and then the seniors putting together all of these creative programs. And then just last month, we broke ground. We are building a partnership, create a brand new facility, and we will be living there together in Bordeaux, and it will be a brand new community center.
Oh my gosh! Yay!
I know, it's so
Yay.
exciting. Yeah,
Yay!
Yep.
50
I know.
Forward.
Yeah,
And there are a lot of, and I see that you're possibly meeting dual needs because a lot of times the younger generation doesn't have a grandparent in the home. They don't have sometimes even a mother in the home, so they get to have that guidance and that experience and that knowledge that somebody's garnered through their lifetime. They get to have that presence of an older person in their life.
it was really beautiful to watch some of this programming happen because you're exactly right. So many of the young girls were so eager to sort of show off their skills and to help the older adults with the painting. And then the older seniors were just delighted to be part of the younger set and you could watch their eyes light up. And it was truly magical to see everything that happened in this joint programming. And we're going to be able to continue that and even do some new programming together, whether that is dance and some additional storytelling projects that we have.
Yeah.
And the community will be able to use the building too. And that is something that we've not had in Bordeaux. Other nonprofits will be able to come in and use the space. It really is going to be exciting.
Why do you think nonprofits are working together better these days? Have you noticed that?
I would like to think that we've always done it really well. You do have to be intentional about it, and you have to seek out the things that work well together. Sometimes you pick two banks they compete by nature, and nobody asks them to work together. And so, but
True.
Funders always ask nonprofits, "Hey, you should partner."
Yeah.
And so, I think we want to partner when it works well. You just have to find that what's going to work well together, and
both of you.
for both of us. And this really was magical between 50 Forward Bordeaux Senior Center and Creative Girls Rock. And we're eager to be in that space. It'll be about a year, and then we'll be there together, and we're eager for the community to be in there with us.
Are there other skills and abilities that we're really not making the best use of from people over 50?
That's an interesting question. I don't know. Brain power, yes. Older adults are often just discounted.
Yes.
For in anything. I mean, you look probably in the last 3 to 4 to 5 years, more and more has been spoken about it, and more people are acknowledging that seniors or older adults are being pushed aside, whether
Yeah.
that is celebrities, saying I'm not getting parts, or whether
Yeah.
in advertising you see more older adults in the advertising space. It hasn't been until recently that more folks are speaking out about it. I do think that there's so much wisdom in older adults. And if we would just take the time to say, hey, talk to me about your story and tell me your experience. You don't get to be this 50 or 55 or 60 without having learned some lessons or two.
Oh, heck yeah. Yeah.
And having made many, many mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
And, failure is truly the best teacher.
Yes.
It really is.
Yeah.
And by encouraging some understanding and some conversations with whether that is the business community executives or older adults who are creatives, and just gathering their information and their knowledge, I think we learn a lot.
Do members of 50Forward go out and volunteer their time?
As staff?
No,
or
the members of the community.
Oh, yeah. Yes, actually, we do. I don't have this statistic with me, but it actually is on our website, the number of hours that our older adult volunteers spent out in the community last year, and it is well over a couple of thousand. But going out, senior volunteers doing volunteer work. It is pretty amazing, from everything from gardening and planting in the space to cleaning up other centers and helping with creative projects that needed to be done. Yes. And again, they're the ones who are delivering meals as the retired senior volunteers, delivering the Meals on Wheels.
It gives a sense of purpose.
It does.
Gives you a reason to wake up in the morning and know I'm going to be able to do good in this world, not just I'm sitting here I'm alone.
They are the ones, older adults made this community, and they want to continue to be active and involved and make sure this community thrives. And they're doing it. We are doing it.
50Forward Chief Executive Officer Sallie Hussey is with us to help adults 50 plus in Middle Tennessee. So if you're 50, you're already in that group that might benefit from contacting 50Forward. And the website, is that where we go first?
Yes, you certainly can. It's just 50forward.org.
Okay.
Sure.
What would you like to say that I've neglected to ask? Are there any things that you think this is important for people to know, and I want to make sure we get this in?
Whether you are about to turn 50, you have a family member, a neighbor, or a friend who is, reach out to us. And frankly, Anna Marie, you don't have to be 50 to be involved with 50Forward. We are always looking for other volunteers to help us out and to be a part of this organization. But we want you to remain active and engaged and to be a part of this organization. Again, there are so many more who are coming into the ranks of the older adults in the coming years, and we want to be able to serve and to help and to provide amazing programs, whether you are active and engaged or whether older adults need that support. We've got a lot to do, and we want folks to come be a part of that and help us in the remaining years.
And they can go to the website,
50forward.org.
All right, 50forward.org. And we'll also post some links on our Focus Facebook page so you can find out more information and a phone number as well. Thank you. Any final thoughts?
No, I'm grateful to be here. Thank you, really. Thank you, Anna Marie, for letting me come today.
Thank you for all that 50Forward does. Thank you. Chief Executive Officer Sallie Hussey, a wonderful human being, and so honored to have her here today. We'll have more info on the website. Go ahead and check it out now. Get that info and get ready to use it. Make sure you join us again next week. I'm Anna Marie. That's Focus.